All right, let's talk about generative AI. It's the tech that's completely reshaping our world, and it's happening so fast. And look, this isn't just about some cool new apps you can play with. We're talking about a massive fundamental shift in how we all work, create, and even think. So if you've been hearing all the buzz but you're not really sure where to begin, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's just get right to the big question, the one that's probably on everyone's mind. You've seen the headlines, right? The news about layoffs, the constant talk about disruption. If you're sitting there wondering if AI is coming for your job, well, spoiler alert, it might already be here.
And here's the tough reality of the situation. The speed of this change is just staggering. Seriously, it's not just about what you know anymore, it's all about how quickly you can adapt. The real fear isn't being replaced by a robot, it's being replaced by someone who knows how to use these new AI tools. And that's exactly why understanding this stuff is no longer a nice-to-have, it's an absolute necessity. To really get why this is so urgent, we have to look at the sheer scale of what's going on. I mean, this isn't just another tech trend, it's more like an economic earthquake. We are smack in the middle of a new AI battlefield, where basically every company on the planet is racing to build smarter, faster, and more creative technology.
Now just look at this number, $1 trillion. That's what they're projecting the generative AI market will be worth in less than a decade. I mean, think about that. This isn't some niche little industry. This is a full-blown gold rush. And that money, that value, that's the fuel for this entire revolution. It's why there's such an intense race for talent and innovation right now.
And this, right here, shows you the real-world consequences. On one side, you see roles in customer service or certain marketing jobs getting automated. But on the other side, brand new careers like prompt engineer and AI specialist are just exploding. So here's the main takeaway. This is a reskilling moment. It's a massive, massive shift from one type of work to a completely different kind.
Okay, so we've established it's a huge deal. But what is it actually? You know, to really navigate this new world, you have to understand the engine that's driving all of it. So let's break down what makes generative AI so fundamentally different from all the AI that came before.
So what is the big deal with generative AI? Well, for years, AI has been all about analysis. Recognizing patterns, sorting through data. But generative AI is something else entirely. It's a creator. It can literally write a poem, help design a building, or compose a piece of music. It doesn't just analyze the world as it is. It actually adds new, original stuff to it. Let's start with the kind of AI we're all pretty familiar with, the old school stuff. Think of it like a specialist. It's incredibly good at one specific thing, like telling you if a picture is of a cat or a dog, or recommending a movie on Netflix. It's a master of its narrow task, but that's all it can do. Now, contrast that with generative AI. This is more like a generalist. It can draft an email for you, then create a stunning piece of art from a text description, and then help you write some code. It isn't just about one task. It's about a whole range of creative and intellectual abilities. It's a huge, huge leap forward toward making AI way more versatile and powerful. So how in the world did we make this giant leap? And why does it feel like it happened so suddenly? Well, the answer comes down to a single groundbreaking development that was basically the big bang for the AI world. It came out of nowhere and completely changed the rules of the game. To really get this, we got to go back just a few years to 2017. Before then, AI models learned language kind of like how we read a book, one word at a time. It was slow, and honestly, the AI had a terrible memory. By the end of a long paragraph, it would forget what was said at the beginning. But then, in 2017, this new architecture called the transformer was introduced, and instead of reading word by word, it could look at the entire sentence, all at once, understanding the context and how all the words relate to each other simultaneously. In the paper that introduced this whole idea had this kind of poetic title, "Attention is all you need." And that word, attention, is the magic key. Think about it. When you read a sentence, your brain naturally pays more attention to the most important words to figure out the meaning. Well, that's what the transformer does. It can look at a whole chunk of text and decide which words matter most for understanding the overall meaning. This one simple but brilliant idea was the breakthrough that unlocked everything and led to the incredibly powerful AI models we have today. So that's it. That was the Big Bang moment that gave us the tools we have now. And it's an incredible piece of engineering for sure. But you don't have to be a rocket scientist to use it. Which brings us to the most important part, the how. How do you go from being a spectator to an actual participant in this revolution? Let's lay out a clear, actionable roadmap. It can feel pretty overwhelming. So let's just boil it down to 3 simple steps. First, learn the foundations. That just means getting comfortable with a programming language like Python. It's pretty much the bedrock of AI. Second, understand the engine. Now that you know what a transformer is, you can dig a little deeper into how these large language models actually think. And third, master the craft. Now this is the fun part. This is where you learn to use APIs, which are like pre-built toolkits for plugging AI into your own apps, and practice prompt engineering, which is basically the art of asking the AI the right questions to get amazing results. This is where you actually start building things.
And what's really great here is that you don't have to become a PhD in machine learning overnight. There are really 2 main paths you can take. There's the application path, which is all about using these powerful tools in a smart and effective way. Think of it like being a skilled driver of a race car. You don't need to know how to build the engine, but you know exactly how to drive it to win. Then there's the builder path. That's for people who want to pop the hood, understand how the engine works, and maybe even build a new one from scratch. The thing is, most people start on the application path. The most important thing is just to start.
So here we are. We've reached this incredible moment where you can create an app without knowing how to code, make art without picking up a brush, or even start a business just by giving instructions to an AI. This isn't just hype. It's a real fundamental shift. The tools are here. They're accessible. The revolution has already started. So the only question left is, what are you going to build?